My full name is Mr.KEN Kennedy. I am a private tutor for secondary mathematics and I've been in this business for quite some time. For 11 years by the end of December this year, which is 2014. I do normally handle both junior and senior secondary mathematics on private basis. And in the past, I used to organize a number of pupils starting from 10 to about 20, and you could take them in extra lessons for mathematics. But nowadays, due to some other commitments or some other works, I do not attend to such a group of pupils. But all the same, I'm a kind of a person who like solving mathematical problems very much. Not only that, but also like teaching mathematics concepts. And in this vein, I've made up my mind to start recording lesson after lesson on DVD video CD, so that someone out there can take advantage of watching such kind of material to enhance learning of secondary mathematics. Without wasting much of your time, this time around I'm not going to look at mathematics for senior grades, but mathematics for junior grades, that is grade 8 and 9, and this is solving simple equations. Solving simple equations is very important to understand, in that in future at every level, it can be at college or higher institution of learning such as universities, you find that most problems which can be complicated can be reduced to a simple equation. So it's very important for a pupil who is attending grade 8 and 9 to learn how to solve a simple equation. And this can be simple if one can understand what is meant by the like terms and unlike terms. And again, there are rules which must be obeyed when solving a simple equation, such as whenever a number crosses the equal sign, the sign changes. Or it can be a letter crossing the equal sign, then the sign should change. What I mean is that if the number or a letter before crossing an equal sign is carrying a positive sign, then upon crossing that number or a letter to the other side of the equation, then the sign should change to negative. The other way around, if a number or a letter were to be negative before crossing the equal sign, then upon crossing the equal sign it should become positive. So allow me to give a few examples which I have selected as examples, so that by watching those few examples, learning is going to take place. And again, if you are a kind of a person who have had some problems in solving simple equations, upon watching that video CD, that is going to be the question of the past. So without wasting much of your time, let us look at the first example. And this is under the word solve. To solve simply means to work out simply by calculating. So this is under solve. So solve 15 minus 2x equals 7. Let me say this is A, then B. Let's have 4y minus 2 equals 18. And C, let's have 1 involving the brackets, 2 outside the brackets, x plus 3 brackets equals 12. So let us first look at the first 3 examples which I have raised, as these are not all that difficult to handle. So without wasting much of your time, I'm sure from that far you are able to see. If I may go through, 15 minus 2x equals 7, 4y minus 2 equals 18, and 2 outside the brackets, that is open bracket and close bracket. Inside the brackets we have x plus 3, and this is equals to 12. Each and every question fall under solve. To solve simply mean to work out by calculating, or to make the letter which is, or the variable which is the unknown letter to be the subject of the formula. In the first equation, the unknown letter is x. In the second one, the unknown letter is y, and of which in the third one, the unknown letter is x. So how to solve each of these three equations? I'm going to solve them one by one, and I'm going to be moving at a slower pace in order to make you understand how to go about. So without wasting much of your time, the first one, which is 15 minus 2x equals 7, can be solved as follows. So allow me to solve it there. The first one I copy. This is 15 minus 2x equals 7. This is the first example of which we are told to solve. So what you have to do is to maintain that this is negative 2x, then followed by an equal sign, which is a 7. Then after that, this is 15 should cross the equal sign. So if this 15 crosses the equal sign, it's positive this time, it becomes negative 15, like that. And this is 2x equals 7 minus 15, you get negative 8. What it is that when you were in grade 5, in grade 4, you could say a bigger number subtract a smaller number subtracting and a bigger number. You could say it can't, but this time around, it's possible to subtract a bigger number from a smaller number. Like the case 7 minus 15, what you have to do there is a 15 to subtract a 7, and you get 8. Now this 8 should carry a negative sign, reason being that the number which has subtracted a 7 is carrying a negative sign. That's why that's why I said in the first place to say, upon watching that video CD, or if you are learning using that video CD, it can be important to pay particular attention, and upon finishing watching how to go about the problem, you have to revise, do a lot of practice, and that way you are going to help yourself develop better skills. So without wasting much of your time, from there, this can proceed as follows. Negative 2x equals negative 8. So you have to draw a dividing line this side and this side. Mind you, because of an equal sign, whatever is added on the left hand side of the equation must be also added on the right hand side of the equation. So divide this side, a negative 2 and a negative 2. So that this negative 2 and negative 2 cancel, and this reduces to x equals, this x is equals to negative 8 divided by negative 2. Negative divided by negative is positive, so this is a positive 4. So if this problem, which is number 1, is solved, then for the first one, x is equals to be 4, of which you have to show the process, and this is what is meant by solving. So without wasting much of your time, allow me to move on to question to example. This is number 4y minus 2 equals 18. 4y minus 2 equals 18. So I drive it there. 4y minus 2 equals 18. How can this problem be solved? This is not all that difficult. So all you are going to do is to write 4y, then maintain an equal sign. After an equal sign, there is 18. These two must cross the equal sign. It's negative this time. If it crosses the equal sign, it becomes plus 2. And that way, this is 4y equals 18 plus 2, you get 20. Then from there, what you are going to do is that this is 4y equals 20, and you are trying to solve, meaning that you are trying to find the value of y. So which means that you have to divide the 4 this side and a 4 that side. And that way 4 positive and 4 positive cancels like that, and this is y equals to positive 20 divided by positive 4, you are going to get a positive 5. So this time around, you have solved that y is equals to 5. If you can happen to substitute where you have a y, to substitute a 5, 4y means 4 multiplied by y. So 4 times 5 is 20. 20 minus 2, then you get 18. This time around, I'm not interested in proving, but very much interested on how a simple equation can be solved. So this is how this problem can be solved. So without wasting much of your time, I move on to C. This is 2 outside the brackets, x plus 3. A close bracket equals 12. So what you have to do there is that you have to open the brackets in such a way that this 2 is going to be multiplied by x, so that you get 2x, and 2 multiplied by positive 3, so that you get positive 6, and this is equals to 12. Then from there, look at this statement. What we are going to do is to maintain that this is 2x, then an equal sign there, and this is 12. Then a positive 6, this time to cross the equal sign. If it crosses the equal sign, it's positive, it is going to become minus 6 like that. And this is now 2x is equals to 12 minus 6, it is 6. Now, looking at 2x equals 6. To work out this problem, it cannot be all that difficult. I'm saying this cannot be all that difficult, but simple and straightforward. So what you have to do there is that you have to divide the 2 this side and the 2 that side, so that this 2 and the 2 cancel like that, and this is x is equals to 6 divided by 2, you get a 3. So by doing that, you have solved each of the 3 equations. In the first place, we got the value of x to be a 4, and in the second place, which is a b, we've got a value of y to be a 5, and in the third question, where the brackets are used, we have got the value of x to be a 3. So if you can happen to substitute where you see x a 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 times 2, you get a 12, or 3 plus 3, which is a 6 inside the brackets, yes, multiplied by 2, you get a 12, or you substitute a 3 there, so that you distribute 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, again 2 multiplied by 3 there is 6, 6 plus 6, you can get a 12. Like I have said earlier on, to say this time around, I'm not interested in proving, but on how a simple equation can be solved. Let us look at many more examples, but still on simple equations. These can be 4 outside the brackets, inside the brackets, x plus 2 equals 2 outside the brackets, x plus 6 inside the brackets. That is the question A. Then question B, it is y minus 2 over 2 equals 6 minus y over 6. It's in a fraction form. We have a fraction and again another fraction. Then C, it is also involving fraction. W over 4 equals 1 minus w. Since we are told to solve, which means in each and every case we have to make the unknown data to be the subject of the formula, and we have to show that process, so that the value of that unknown data or rather a variable can be found. So without wasting much of your time, what you are going to do is that you look at the first one, which is 4 outside the brackets. I have to copy the problem there so that I show how it can be solved. And this is 4 outside the brackets, inside the brackets x plus 2, then equals, there is 2 outside the brackets, inside the brackets there is x plus 6, like that. I make a demarcation. Then from there, what you have to do is, in the first place, this one involves brackets. So the brackets must be removed. And how do you remove the brackets? You can remove the brackets by multiplying out. This 4 is going to be multiplied by x, and 4 multiplied by 2. So 4 multiplied by x, you get 4x. 4 multiplied by positive 2, you get positive 8. Then maintain an equal sign. 2 multiplied by x, you get 2x. And 2 multiplied by positive 6, you get positive 12. Now at this point in time, what you are going to do is, look at this statement. Everything is scattered. You have 4x this side, and after an equal sign you have 2x. You have plus 8 and you have plus 12. So make sure that you collect those carrying the unknown data, which is x in this regard, to one side of the equation. And this can be done as follows. So this is 4x. If this 2x crosses the equal sign, it becomes minus 2x. And maintain an equal sign. After an equal sign, you have crossed this 2x to become minus 2x. There is 12 remaining there. Then if this positive 8 crosses the equal sign, it becomes minus 8, like that. And 4x minus 2x, you get a difference of 2x. And this is equals to 12 minus 8, you get a 4. Then from there, this is 2x equals a 4. So what you have to do is to divide the 2 and the 2 this side. That and that cancels, and this x is equals to 4 divided by 2, you get a 2. So the value of x is equals to 2. I am sure if this problem can be solved, then the value of x is expected to be a 2. So that is how to get the value of x is expected to be a 2. I'm sure that is seen, and it can be followed. So the value of x is equals to 2. So what is important is that you have to understand that in solving an equation, you have to make the unknown letter in that equation to be the subject, and by making that unknown letter or to be the subject, then it means you have shown the process and you have solved the problem. I'm sure that is seen, and at the same time it can be understood. Then I move on to the second one, which is at this point in time include the fractions or involve fractions. Y minus 2 over 2, it's a fraction in an expression form, equals 6 minus y over 6, and again it falls under solve. How can this problem be solved? It is not all that difficult to solve this problem, but simple and straightforward. There are two ways of doing it, and this is question B. In the first place, I have to copy question B, which is y minus 2. This is y minus 2 over 2 equals 6 minus y over 6. There are two ways of working out this problem. The first one is that because of an equal sign, you have a fraction and a fraction, then an equal sign in between, you have to adopt cross multiplication. And how do you cross multiply? What I mean by cross multiply is that this 6 is going to be multiplied by that, and this 2 is going to be multiplied by that. So to show the steps, I have to write a 2 multiplied by this 2 multiplied by 6 minus y equals, and this 6 multiplied by y minus 2. I am using the brackets for multiplication. Then if you look at this, it now appears as if it is equation 1, whereby you have brackets and the number outside, and again after an equal sign, bracket and the number outside. This is the situation. So what I have done is that this 6 multiplied by y minus 2, this is 6 multiplied by y minus 2, and this is 2 multiplied by y minus 6 minus y. Then what we are going to do there is that 2 multiplied by 6, you get a 12. And 2 multiplied by negative y, you get negative 2y. Then equals 2 multiplied by 6y, you get 6y. And 2 multiplied by negative 2, you get a negative 12. Like that. Then from there, what is next is that you have to maintain that this is negative 2y and there is a 6y there. So what you are going to do is that you are going to maintain that this is negative 2y, then equal sign. After an equal sign, you maintain negative 12 there. Then what it is that I have to show how the like terms can be corrected. I come again, you maintain that this is negative 2y. There is a positive 6y. If it crosses the equal sign, it becomes negative 6y. Then an equal sign. After an equal sign, there is a minus 12 this side. I'm sure that is seen. There is a minus 12 that side. This is a negative 12. Then, mind you, there is a positive 12. If this positive 12 crosses the equal sign, it becomes minus 12, like that. So from there, negative 2y, negative 6y, you are going to get negative 80y. And this is equals to negative 12, you get negative 24, like that. Then from there, you have to divide the negative 8 this side and the negative 80 that side. So negative 8 and negative 8 can cancel like that, and this is y equals negative divided by negative, it's positive. So negative 24 divided by negative 8, you get a positive 3. Because 8 can go into 24 or 3 times. I'm sure you've seen how this can be handled. In the first place, I have adopted what I have called the cross multiplication. And cross multiplication can be taught to pupils as early as grade 5. As long as you have a fraction and again a fraction and an equal sign in between, then that way cross multiplication can be adopted, like I have adopted it there. So y minus 2 over 2 equals 6 minus y over 6. So I have cross multiply. So 2 to be multiplied by 6 minus y. So this is 2 outside the brackets, 6 minus y inside the brackets. And 6 to be multiplied by y minus 2. So this is 6 outside by the bracket, y minus 2. And after that, I have removed the brackets simply by multiplying out. As 2 multiplied by 6, I get a 12. And 2 multiplied by negative y, I get negative 2y. Equals 6 multiplied by y, I get 6y. And 6 multiplied by negative 2, I get negative 12. Then after that, the like terms to be corrected. Those carrying a y must be grouped to one side of the equation, and those not carrying a letter y must be grouped to the other side. And looking at that, there is 12. There is 12 minus 2y equals 6y minus 12. So if I can maintain, this is mind you, this negative is part of this 2y, negative 2y. So this is negative 2y. If this 6y crosses the equal sign, mind you, this side it is positive, it becomes a negative. So negative, I have paired negative 2y and this positive 6y. Upon crossing the equal sign, it becomes negative 6. So that way it appears as negative 2y, negative 6y, like that. And I maintain an equal sign. After an equal sign, I have a negative 12. Now, since I have a negative 12 after an equal sign, look at this 12, which is positive. If it crosses the equal sign, it is going to become negative also. So this is negative 12. So we have two negative 12s here. So that if I look at negative 2y, negative 6y, I get negative 8y. And negative 12, I get negative 24. And after that, I divide the negative 8 this side and negative 8 this side in order for the system to balance. And upon dividing, 8 negative and 8 negative cancels, and this reduces to y equals negative 8 into negative 24. Mind you, negative divided by negative is positive. So negative 8 into negative 24, I get a 3. That is how this equation can be solved. So without wasting much of your time, allow me to take you some steps further in mathematics. And before I can cross over, let me look at the question W over 4. W over 4 equals 1 minus W. So I transfer it as usual. This is W over 4 equals 1 minus W. How can such a problem be solved? Simple and straightforward. So what I have to do this time around is that there are two ways of doing it also. Like I said in the first place to say, there is two ways of working out this problem. I adopt cross multiplication, and another way of doing it, the best you can do, look at the numbers down there, a 2 and a 6. And then 2 can go into 6 without leaving any remainder. So you have to multiply both sides of the equation by 6. You multiply this by 6 and that by 6. And still the same results are going to be achieved. Same applies for this one. And it can be worked out by multiplying both sides of the equation by a 4. If you don't want to adopt cross or adopting cross multiplication. If I am to adopt cross multiplication, I do a dividing line there and say over 1, so that this and that can be multiplied by that. 4 multiplied by 1 minus W and 1 multiplied by W. So this can be seen as 4 outside the brackets multiplied by 1 minus W. This is the first method. And this 1 multiplied by W, I get a W like that. Then from there, I open the brackets. 4 multiplied by 1, I get a 4. Minus 4 multiplied by negative 4 multiplied by negative W, I get negative 4W. And this is equals to W like that. Then from there, if I am to correct the like terms, this is a negative 4W. Mind you, it's negative. Equals... or before I write an equal sign, negative W, if this W crosses the equal sign, it becomes minus W. Then after that, this is equals to, this 4 crosses the equal sign, it is going to become a negative 4. Mind you, this side it's positive 4, it becomes a negative 4. And this W, it's a positive, it becomes minus W. I'm sure this is smart. So from there, this is now 4W minus W, then I get a 3W, and this is equals to negative 4. Then over a 3, and over a 3 this side. That and that cancels, and that way W reduces to negative 4 over 3. Negative 4 over 3. 3 can go into 4. So this is negative 1, which is a whole number. 4 into 3 into negative 4, it's negative 1. Then remainder 1 over 3. I'm sure that is seen. This is how to solve simple equations. This is how to solve simple equations. And at times you may find that some equations can involve indices, and I cannot term those to be simple equations, because one to solve an equation involving the indices should understand all the laws of the indices, and that way such equations involving the indices can be included. But for simple equations, this is how the simple equations can be solved. Let us look at many more examples. But before I can cross over to some other examples, I have said question B and C. There are two ways of doing it, either by cross multiplying, or you look at a number that can be multiplied to both sides of the equation. So like in the first place, I have used the cross multiplication to solve each of the two questions, that is question B and the question C. This time around I want to use a different method so that you see how you can achieve the results. So to start with, I look at B, which is y minus 2 over 2 equals 6 minus y over 6. So what you have to do there is to copy y minus 2 over 2 and then equals 6 minus y over 6. So you have to enclose that in brackets like that, so that in each and every part must be multiplied by a certain number. So you look at the numbers down. There is a 2 and a 6. 2 can go into 6 without leaving an element. Supposing that these two were not dividing into 6, I were to multiply the 2 to get that number. So now this time 2 can go into 6 without leaving an element. So what has to be multiplied to this is a number which is a 6. This is a 6 and that is a 6, like that. So that if I can multiply out, what is going to happen is that mind you, I am multiplying 6 multiplied by whatever they all wrote in the brackets. So the best you can do is to reduce. 2 into 2 it's 1, 2 into 6 it's 3. So which means that this reduces to 3, and then 1 minus 2. I'm sure that is understood. I have cancelled the 2 there to remain with 1. So it can be sheer waste of time to say 3 minus 3 outside the brackets, y minus 2, then I write over a 1, because if I divide the 1, I simply maintain the same, and this is equals to, there if I can do 6 there it's 1, and 6 there it's 1. 1 multiplied by 6 minus y, I get 6 minus y. And at this point in time, this is the equation which should be solved in order to get the value of y. So because of the brackets there, I open the brackets. 3 multiplied by y, I get 3y, and 3 multiplied by negative 2, I get negative 6, and this is equals to 6 minus y. Then after that, I have to correct the right terms, and I should not forget the rules that whichever number or term crosses the equal sign, the sign changes. So if you look at this, this is 3y. If the negative y crosses the equal sign, it becomes plus y, and this is an equal sign. After an equal sign, there is a 6. There is a minus 6 there. If a minus 6 crosses the equal sign, it becomes plus 6, like that. I'm sure that can be seen at the same time, observed. So 3y plus a y, this comes to a 4y, and this is equals to a 6 plus 6, I get a 12. Then from there, 4y equals 12. It means 4 multiplied by y equals 12. So in order to make y to be the subject, I need to divide a 4 this side, divided by a 4 this side, again divided by a 4, or like that. And upon dividing, 4 and a 4 cancels, and this reduces to y, to a y equals 4 into 12. 12 divided by 4, it is 3 times. As you can see, I have maintained that y is equals to 3. I'm sure that is since this is the second method that I talked about. So coming to question B, looking at it the way it is, I maintain that this is W over 4 equals 1 minus W. As usual, I have to enclose that in brackets. So mind you, this time around, this is in a fraction form. There is a 4 down there, but there is no number there, which means that even if we can apply a 1 there, still we can maintain the same. So the highest number which is down there is a 4. So each and every side should be multiplied by a 4. This multiplied by a 4 and that multiplied by a 4. Then that way, a 4 there, it's a 1, and a 4 there, it's a 1. So 1 multiplied by W, you get a W equals a 4 multiplied by, mind you, this now, this 4 multiplied by 1, you get a 4. Minus 4 multiplied by W, you get negative 4 or W. Then from there, you have to correct the like terms. So this is a W. If negative 4W crosses the cosine, it becomes plus 4 W like that, and this is equals a 4. I'm sure that is seen. Then W plus 4W. W plus 4W, you get a 5W, and this is equals to a 4. I'm sure that is seen. Then from there, this is over a 5 and this is over a 5. That and that cancels, and W is equals to 4 over 5. So I need to check, and this time I've got 4 over 5. But in the first place I got a different answer. So without rubbing this part, allow me to clear this part so that I redo that other first method. Or now this question can be handled so that we see where the mistake is. You know, mistakes are there to be, the mistakes are there to be controlled but not to be repeated. Getting two different answers, 4 over 5, and that one I got a different answer, which was a mixed fraction as a negative 1 over negative 1 and a third. It shows that there must be a mistake in one of the two methods. So allow me to work it out using the This is W over 4 equals 1 minus W. So if that can be the case, then in the first place I adopted cross multiply. I copied the question W over 4 equals 1 minus W. Then I said over 1 this side and cross multiply like that. So if I can cross multiply, this is 4 to be multiplied by 1 minus W. 1 minus W equals 1 multiplied by W, and I get a W like that. Then from there, 4 multiplied by 1, it is 4. 4 multiplied by negative W, negative 4 or W, and this is equals to W. Then what is going to happen there is that I have to say 4 equals W. If this negative W crosses the cosine, it is going to become plus 4W like that. And that way, this is a 4 equals W plus 4W, I get 5W. So over a 5 and over a 5. So that and that cancels, and W is equals to 4 over 5. And if you can take into comparison, even in the first place I've got W to be 4 over 5. Therefore, W is equals to 4 over a 5. I'm sure that is seen. So this is the correct way of doing it. So the way I handled it in the first place is somewhere a mistake was made, and like I have said in the first place, to say mistakes are there to be controlled but not to be this time around. I want to take you some steps further and in mathematics, so that we look at the applications of equations in such a way that when you have a triangle, you can be told to find the size of each of the interior angles by taking advantage of solving equations. Like for example, where we have a triangle like this one, of which one angle is x, the other one is 2x, and this one is 60. You can be told to say find the x, find the value of x, and sometimes you can be told to say find the size of each angle. So let me say find the x a, then b. I have to say a, find the x, then b, size of each angle. Find the x and the size of each angle. If you can confront such a question, it's not all that difficult to handle such a question. And the fact is that the three interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So what you have to do is to come up with an equation that you are going to equate to 180 degrees, knowing that if you add the three angles inside the triangle, you have to get the sum, which is 180 degrees. So you start from there to find x. So for a, what you are going to do is, looking at the diagram, you have to look at this, which is 2x, then plus the x, then plus the 60 degrees. These are three angles of a triangle, and this is equals to 180 degrees. Then from there, 2x plus x, you get 3x, then plus the 60, and this is equals to 180. Now solving this simple equation, this is 3x equals 180. If this is 60 crosses the equal sign, it is positive, it is going to become minus 60. And this is 3x equals 180 minus 60, 0 minus 0, it is 0, 8 minus 6, it is 2, and this is a 120. Now, looking at this, which is 3x equals 120. So over a 3 this side and over a 3 this side, a 3 and a 3 cancels. Then x is equals to 3 into 12, which is 4, and 3 into 0, that. So x is equals to 40. So for question A, I have managed to get the value of x to be 40 degrees. Now after that, there is question B to say find the size of each angle. As you can see, one of the three angles is 2x, the other one is x. So where you have this is B, where you have let me answer B there, where you have 2x. What it means, 2x means that 2 multiplied by x. So this is 2 multiplied by the value of x, which we have got x to be 40. 2 times this, which is of which this is 80. This is 80 degrees where you have 2x. And the other one is plain, it is just x, and x is found to be 40. So this is 40. So the three angles are 40 degrees, and the third one is known to be 40 plus 80 plus 60. You are going to get the sum of 180 degrees. You see, solving a simple equation is important in such a way that problems like the one I have given as an example can be solved by taking advantage of knowing how to solve a simple equation. From the fact that three inside angles of a triangle, three interior angles of a triangle add up to 180. I started from there, looking at this is 60 degrees, 2x and the x. I added the 3 to get 180 degrees. And by doing that, I came up with an equation, 2x plus x plus 60 equals 180 degrees. And after that, then the equation is solved. And at last, you've seen that x is going to, is found to be 40. And upon finding x, the value of x to be 40, the next thing I have done is that to find the size of each angle, where I have 2x there. 2x means that 2 multiplied by x, of which x is 40. So 2 multiplied by 40. So this angle is 80 degrees. And where I have x, this is 40 degrees. Of which, if you can go around adding the angles, 40 plus 60, this is 100 plus 80, you get 180 degrees. So I have answered question A to find the value of x, and question B to find the size of each of the three angles of a triangle. Already we know that this is already 60. What we don't know are the two angles where we have 2x and the x. Without wasting much of your time, allow me to give you another example in a triangle form where an equation can be. The three angles of a triangle are 2x plus 40, the first angle, 5x and 3x. In the first place, you have to find the value of x, and this can be possible by forming an equation. And the second question is that find the size of each of the three angles. So without wasting much of your time, what you have to do here is that first of all you come up with an equation. This is 2x plus 40 in the first angle, then plus 5x plus 3x. I have added the three angles 1, 2, 3, and the sum of a triangle is 180 degrees. So without wasting much of your time, from there I have to correct the like terms. This is 2x, this is 5x, and this is 3x. So I maintain that this is 2x plus 5x plus 3x, and this is equals to 180. If this 40 crosses the cosine minus 40, like that. Then from there, 2x plus 5x, that is 7x, plus 3x, I get 10x. And this is equals to 180 minus 40. 0 minus 0, it is 0. 4 minus 4, it is 8 minus 4, it is 4. And this is a 1. So 180 minus 40, it's 140. Then from there, 10x is equals to 140. So it is this equation which should be solved in order to find the x. And from there, if I can transfer this where there is enough space, there, this is 10x equals 140. So if 10x is equals to 140, over 10 this side and over 10 that side, that and that cancels, and this is x is equals to 10 into 140, just cancel a 0 and a 0. 10 into 140, it's 14, or a 0 and a 0, so 1 into 14 is 14. So x is equals to 14. Now the size of each angle, what you are going to do is that you have to maintain that the first one is 2x plus 40, whereas the second one is 5x, and the third one is 3x. So to get the size of each angle, we've known that this is x is equals to 14. So what you have to do is that this is 2 multiplied by that size of that the value of x, which is 14. So 2 multiplied by 14, it's 28. Then this 28 plus 40. So if you find the sum of 28 and 40, then that way you are going to get the first angle. So this is 0 plus 8, it is 8. 4 plus 0 plus 8, it is 8. Then 4 plus 2, it is 6. So the first angle is 68 degrees. Whereas the second angle, where we have a 3x, this is 3x. So I write there, this is 3x. So which means that 3 multiplied by 14. 3 multiplied by 4, it is 12, carry 1. 3 multiplied by 1, it is 3. Plus 1, 4. So the second angle is 42 degrees. I'm sure that can be seen the way I'm working out the angles. Whereas the third angle is where we have this, which is 2x plus, I have worked out that one already. Look at this, this is 2x plus 40, of which x is 14. So in place of 2x, it means 2 multiplied by 14. So 2 multiplied by 14, I have got 28. Then 28 plus 40, I have got 68. I have got this angle. Then the second one which I have got is where we have 3x. This is 3x, which means 3 multiplied by 14. So what remains, the size of the angle which remains to be worked out is where we have 3x. So there 3x, it means 3x. I have worked out that again, 3x, which means 3 multiplied by 14, which is 42. So this is 3 multiplied by 14. I do it again. 3 multiplied by 14, we get 42 degrees. And the other one is 5 given by 5x. The one which is given by 5x, it means 5 multiplied by 14. Then you get the size of 5x which means that 5 multiplied by 14, and this is 5 multiplied by 4, 20, carry 2, 5 multiplied by 1, it's 5 plus 2, 70. So the three sizes, or the three angles, are 68, 42, and 70, of which if you want to prove, you have to add 68 plus 42, then plus 70, you have to get 180 degrees. At this point in time, I'm not interested in proving, but for the sake of checking, this is 68, the first angle, and the second one is 42, and the third one is 70. If you can add the three angles, 8 plus 2 is 10, then you carry 1, then 6 plus 4, that is 10 plus 7, 170, plus 1, 180. So these are the sizes of the angle, 70, 42, and 68. It's not only that you are going to have a problem in a shape of a triangle. At times you can have a problem in a shape of a square, whereby you are going to be implicated in such a way that you are going to be told either the area of the perimeter of that rectangle or a square, and you'll be given some expressions of which the way out is to make an equation involving that unknown letter, and after that you find the unknown letter, and that way you can answer further question. So let me give you further examples, and this time this is going to pertain a rectangle of which we know the area, and again a rectangle where the perimeter is going to. Here is the situation, a rectangle of which for this rectangle the length of a rectangle is 4x centimeters, and the breadth is x plus 80 centimeters, and the perimeter of this rectangle is given to be 146 centimeters. In the first place, we have to form an equation, or you have to create an equation showing x, and after that you solve the equation to find the value of x. Then after that there can be further question to say find the length of the rectangle, or find the breadth of the rectangle. So now, since we know the perimeter, first of all you have to understand again what perimeter means. Perimeter simply means the total distance around the shape. You shouldn't have to go inside, you just add the distance around that boundary. So there are two ways of doing it. From that definition, perimeter, total distance around the shape. So looking at this shape, if you can allow me to redraw it, if I can redraw a shape, we are told to say this is 4x and this is x plus 8, which means also this is x plus 8 and this is 4x, and the perimeter is given to be 146, which means that going round adding the distances, we have to get 146 centimeters. So it means that x, if I can start from there, plus 8 plus 4x plus 8 plus x plus 8, x plus 8, then plus 4x. I have to get 146. So that is what I'm trying to explain, is that the total distance around this rectangle should come to a total of 146 centimeters. So knowing the length to be 4x centimeters, so this is 4x centimeters and that is 4x centimeters. This is 8 plus x plus 8 and this is x plus 8, since two opposite parallel lines are equal. So if I am to give an example of a rectangle, this is a shape called a rectangle. If you look at this, the distance from there to there is the same as the distance from there to there, of which the distance from there to there is the same as the distance from there to there. So for as long as this remains to be a rectangle, that is. So if this is 4x, this is also 4x, and this is x plus 8, and this is x plus 8. So total distance can be obtained by x plus 8, this one, then plus 4x, then plus 8 plus x plus 8 plus 4x, and this is equals to 146. This is in centimeters. That is one way of doing it. How many x's do we have? This is 4x, this is x plus 4x plus x plus 4x. So which means x plus 4x, I have to show x plus 4x, then plus x plus 4x, then plus 8, again plus 8, and this is equals to 146. Then from there, x plus 4x, it's 5x, plus x, this is 6x, plus 4x, this is 10x. So 10x plus 8 plus 8, this is 16, and this is equals to 146. Then if an equation can be reduced that way, this becomes 10x is equals to 146 minus 16. So if you can subtract 146, take away 16, this is going to be 0. 4 minus 1, it is 3. This is 130. So this is 10x equals 130. So from there, divided by 10, and this side divided by 10, like that. And that way, this is not all that difficult to handle. 10 and 10 cancels like that, and this is x is equals to 10 into 130. You will simply cancel a 0. That is 0 and that is 0. 1 into 13, you get 13. So the result is 13. So in the first place, I have achieved that the value of x in this regard is 13. And if the value of x can be 13, to find the length and the breadth, cannot be all that difficult. Since we found the value of x to be 13, I am sure I need to show how I have got the value of x to be 13. In the first place, I have created the equation by adding what is all around. This x plus 8 plus 4x plus x plus 8 plus 4x. As you can see, I have gone down the shape, and this is the equation, and this is equals to 146, because I am told to say the perimeter for this shape is 146. Then after that, solving this one, collecting the like terms, I have come up with adding the x's. 10x plus 16 equals 146. Then plus 16 equals the cosine, and so that it can be subtracted from 146, and that way this reduces to 10x equals to 130 over 10 over 10, so that x becomes 13. That I have found the value of x to be 13. It cannot be. So for the length is given to be 4x. So which means that this is 4 multiplied by 13. And when you multiply 4 by 13, you are going to get 52. 4 by 3, it is 12. And 4 by 1, it's 4 plus 1. This is 52. So this is 52 centimeters. That is the length. Then for the breadth or width or breadth, this is given by x plus 8, and we have got x to be 13. So this is 13 plus 8. When you add 13 plus 8, 3 plus 8, this is 11, carry 1, and this is 1 plus 1, it's so this is 21. So as you can see, the shortest side of the rectangle, the shorter side of the rectangle is 21, and the longest is, which is the length, is 52. So as if you are to prove, you can go around to say 52 plus 21 plus 52 plus 21. And this is the first method which I have used for the perimeter. There is another method which can be applied, and this time around I'm going to use a formula for a rectangle. If you are trying to find the perimeter, it is given by perimeter is equals to 2 outside the brackets, then L plus B, because a rectangle has 2 lengths and 2 width or 2 breadth. So without wasting much of your time, using the formula, it can be worked out. Perimeter using the formula. So perimeter is given by, perimeter of a rectangle is given by 2 brackets L plus B, of which the longest side is L and this is the B. So if we can substitute L plus B, so perimeter is given to be 146. So this way, what it is that 2, the formula, then L plus B is equals to perimeter. Since the perimeter is known to be 146, what you need to do is to substitute. So this is 2 outside the brackets, the length is 4x, then plus B, this is x plus 8 in brackets, and this is equals to 146. This is method 2. So what you have to do there is that if you want, you can simplify what is inside the brackets, or you can multiply out by saying 2 multiplied by 4x, you get 8x, and 2 multiplied by x, you get 2x, and 2 multiplied by 8, you get 16, and this is equals to 146. Then from there, 8x plus 2x, you get 10x, and this is equals to 146. If this is 16 crosses the equal sign, becomes minus 16 like that, and this is 10x is equals to 146 minus 16. And this is 6 minus 6, it is 0, and 4 minus this is 3, and this is 1. As you can see, this is 10x equals 130. And if this is 10x equals to 130 over 10 there and over 10 there, 10 and 10 cancels, and this way x is equals to 13. So since the value of x is equals to 13, it cannot be difficult to find the breadth and the length. Since we have the length which is given to be 4x. So this length which is given to be 4x, what you have to do is to say 4x. 4x, it means 4 multiplied by x, and x is obtained to be 13. So 4 times 13, you get 52. And this is, if these are in centimeters, you say centimeters. And that is centimeters. Then the width or breadth. Width or breadth, this is given by x plus 8, which means x plus 8. This means that 13, which is x plus 8, and this way you get 21, and you apply centimeters like that. That is how to work out this problem. I have to show, I have to write where there is enough space. What I'm saying is that the breadth is equals to x plus 8, which means that this x plus 8, x is 13, and 13 plus 8, you get 22. You get 20, not 22 centimeters, because if you add 13 plus, this is 8 plus 13, it's 11, then carry 1, this is 21 centimeters, of which if you can substitute to say this is 52 and this is 21, you go around adding, you are going to find that the total distance around the shape is going to be 146 centimeters. But remember that so learning how to solve equation is very important. These are not the only problems that can be solved by taking advantage of use of equations. As you keep on advancing in mathematics, you find that there are many problems that can be complicated, and when working them out, finally can reduce to a simple equation. So it's very important to learn how to solve a simple equation, this time when in grade 8 and grade 9. So without wasting much of your time, let me give you 2 more examples, and this time around these 2 examples are going to show, or I'm going to show the area instead of the perimeter of the shape. Let us look on the board where we have the two shapes, of which the first one is a right-angled triangle. And for a right-angled triangle, we have been given all the 3 sides, of which we are told to say the perimeter of this triangle is 12 centimeters. And the second one, is a rectangle, and we have been told that we have been given the length as x plus 3 and the breadth to be 4 centimeters, and the area is 40 centimeters. And let's assume that